find a vibe. From the 502, where we rep it true. Cardinal red, black and white, that's our crew. Ballin' hard on the court, scoring touchdowns too. Louisville's finest, we're coming through. Young center pack, freedom, all memories. Gridiron legends, Cardinal legacy. From Muhammad Ali to Lamar Jackson's fleet, we put on for the city, can't you see? Made for the Ville, yeah, we built different. L's up high, keep 'em raised to the ceiling. Cardinal Nation, feel the ground shaking. Made for the Ville, history in the making. Derby City flow, southern hospitality. Slugger field the church, or we got duality. BBN who, we the real Kentucky. Cars fly together, that's our reality. From the west end to the east, Cardinal pride don't never cease. Throw your wheels up, let them know. Louisville's here to run the show. Made for the Ville, yeah, we built different. L's up high, keep 'em raised to the ceiling. Cardinal Nation, feel the ground shaking. Made for the Ville, history in the making. Made for the Ville, yeah, we built different. L's up high, keep 'em raised to the feeling. Cardinal Nation, feel the ground shaking. Made for the Ville, Louisville taking over.
Salute, Robert. Thanks for being the first one up in here. Vaughn 502, salute, salute, salute. Dennis, how much rope do we have to give Moss before he gets benched? Was at the game. What it do? What up, what up, what up? What up, Midnight family? Yeah, we got to talk about it. Oh my God. Y'all let me know if my microphone gets crappy. Hold on, I got a big sneeze, y'all. Hold on. We still lit. We got a monster. Literally. Oh man, shout out. Okay, let me catch up. Let me catch up on the comments, and I'll end the dramatics. Shout out Gary Crump in the building. How much rope do you get? Most for gets benched. I was at the game after the first pick six. Oh man. Lovely lady Lauren keeping these YouTube streets safe. Elaborate on that. Elaborate on the feeling of that loss. Joe. Shout out, Joe. Yeah, elaborate on that one a little bit. That's a tough loss, man. KDW going right for it. Mossing holds up his end. What's going on, Alicia? Sat over here getting big wins. Oh. Came home from Denver to watch. That's right. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Where do we want to start at, good people? You know what? I know where we should start at. Let's start right here. Cheers, cheers, and welcome to Made for the Ville. Cheers, good people. Okay. Are you leaving that game feeling sick? Are you leaving that game feeling like it just was early squandered opportunities? Turn the ball over 14 points, miss a field goal. Still got to go OT and lose. Should have won like 6 times. I'd rather be outplayed and lose. Okay, that's perspective. That's perspective and passion. 14 points off of turnovers and not even having a chance to slow them down off the turnovers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Florida State waiting until 5 minutes in the game to start playing. I am not even on the Florida State Miami radar. Isaac Brown gritting it out today. Oh, that's gonna be the injury conversation. I'm gonna push that back. I'm gonna just deal with actual what I saw on the field. The injury conversation has to be a little bit later on in the week. Bottom line, until we get identity, we'll forever uncertain about our team. I'm sorry. What is our identity? Missed field goal was a bad omen. I probably brought that on us because I was sitting there and the first thing I said when the first kick was about to happen was that we've been so comfortable with our kicking game. It's hard to just rely on that. It's funny, a couple weeks ago, I was talking to my son about that, and he was just like, I would never trust a kicker more than 30 yards in college. So Gregory, if I asked you to rephrase and you say when you say he hadn't shown you anything, I agree he's shown inconsistency, but what he had 329? That's not anything. He put the ball on a lot of people throughout the game. But his boneheads are boneheads. Right? But his good throws, he put a lot of footballs on our receivers a lot of times. And I don't even like to call them boneheads, just because I do understand you're just trying to make a play. You're trying to make a play. He's taking some sacks, trying to make a play. They're really bad decisions. So yeah, I would just try to get you. And he doesn't have like an explosive first step to either get out of the pocket or step up in the pocket. It's like it takes a while to get his feet going, or to get, like it takes him a while to get up to full speed. Or he doesn't feel really safe in the pocket. Is there something about Jennings that I don't know? I thought we were gonna see him. Sat with a big win today. I did see that. Besides last game. No. Like I said, he shows some talent. He shows some good talent. It's just like I said, his bads are really bad. Ronald, are you commenting from Twitter? Again, if you're watching on Twitter, at least I don't know how you're able to comment on Twitter. Is that like a special feature or something? Because maybe if I follow you on Twitter, like I said, Twitter people, if you like watching the Midnight Show on Twitter, go ahead and ask me to follow you. Tag me, I'll follow you so you can comment in the chat too. Because I do like seeing that, Ronald. Put everybody up on game, Ronald. Stop gatekeeping. Midnight family, I'm glad worked Lou City tonight. I would have been busting because I can imagine. Jonathan just going straight for the kill. I didn't think the offensive line was that bad. 60 got whipped a couple times. Chris Bell was balling. Settling for what you think you could do in field goal instead of striving for what you need. A touchdown often spells disaster. Yeah, but the defense have been balling all day. I agree with you, Red State. I'd rather go down getting that, you know what I'm saying? But you can't have no points on the board. But you got to be able to get 2 yards. Like, I feel you, Red State. But your defense has been balling. But you got to be able to get in there. That's what he came to college to do. Macro, that's what he came to college to do. And that's what every other team's going to make us do. Wasn't his wrist down? Like I'm not going to spend my time whining about the calls, but I thought his wrist was down. The wrist that was holding the football, I thought it was down. I thought when your wrist go on the ground, you're down. You ready to go on speakerphone? You're on speakerphone, Steve.
I would love to be on speakerphone because, look, I don't need anything. I just want you to know you suck at picking games. You suck. You are the absolute worst game picker in the history of the world. Oh, why is that, Steve? Why would you say that about Marcus, Steve? That sounds terrible. That sounds very mean to say about somebody. Well, how about this? Because I put $25 on a money line Maven, and all day they've been hit. I got $700 and some on the line, and this jackass of a co-host of mine was like, I bet Florida State beats Miami. I bet Florida State just upsets Miami. Yeah, that's probably going to happen. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not going to happen. So, thank you for absolutely nothing.
Listen,
Oh
listen,
God.
Steve. How good or bad was it overall?
9 of 10.
Was I 9 of 10?
9 of 10. Except you were like, Florida State beat Miami. No, they're not. No, and I should have been like, no, jackass.
I asked you. I gave you a veto, Steve.
Yeah, I know. And I should have went ahead and went with Florida over Texas because Florida just beat the crap out of Texas. But no. I just was like, oh, no, you know what? I just trust Marcus. Matter of fact, I trust him so much, I'm going to put $20 on this thing. And $25, almost $700 was what I would have won.
Was Florida, Texas my bonus?
Yeah. And Florida, Texas was the bonus game.
Listen, that was up to you to make the substitution, Steve.
Oh, my God. and then I've got all this money on the line, and all I've watched is Miami just absolutely pummel Florida State for about, and not only do I got to watch them pummel Florida State, all I got to think about is that's the next team I get to play. Oh, boy.
Joy, oh, joy.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got. I just wanted you to know you were just ass at picking games. So now you know that.
All right, later. Hold on. In case people didn't know, in case you are new to the show or watching for the first time, the Moneyline Maven picks. James Madison over Georgia State. Pitt over Boston College. Wake Forest over Virginia Tech. Win the upset. TCU over Colorado. FSU. Now we'll skip that one. Texas A&M over Mississippi State. Nebraska over Michigan State. Clemson over UNC. Illinois over Purdue. Georgia, of course, over Kentucky. And the bonus pick, Gators over Texas. Moneyline Maven. I tell everybody, I give you the disclaimer. The one thing you have to do is find the one game that I'm going to screw up. So Steve bet 20 and had 790 on the Cheers. Sorry, Steve. My bad. I'm sorry I gave you 9 out of 10 winners. I apologize for that. Oh, God. I can't even tonight. Busy day. I still made it to the stadium. I know. That'll ruin your move, won't it? 54 rushing yards. Is that all we had? And why did we keep slipping? Did we really only have 54 rushing yards? I don't know. I don't know if that pocket was collapsing like it like I think Tyler Shuck in that pocket would have looked like the pocket was better. Maybe a bigger quarterback sitting in that pocket. wait, fire for injuries? Did all our transfers go to ACC school? Listen, that comes with the territory. When you start getting good at spotting talent, evaluating talent, people start cherry picking your program. I didn't think it was enough to overturn it. I didn't think it was enough to overturn it. Steve with his usual jinx talking playoff on Friday. Never want to hear talk like that again. I mean, listen, it's coming down. It's gonna come down to plays like that, making plays. Great skill, poor decisions. The bad thing is that he's probably bail out his mistakes. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's the quarterback. The defense played so well, didn't they? Listen, look it up. If you look it up in the NCAA rule book, your wrist is down. Your wrist is down. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Steve is heated. Steve put 20, he put 25 on the money line. He's heated. I mean, he's not a runner. Like I said, he takes a while to get his momentum going. Switching a dual threat. Yeah, I don't know about that. I cut it down. I cut the sound down, so I didn't hear the explanation. But yeah, Steve is pissy. Can you believe Steve is complaining I gave him 9 out of 10? Unless things recently changed. No, his knee wasn't down because it was like right on top of the guy's arm or something like that. That was. You just can't throw that ball. You just can't throw that ball. That's what I say. Like I said, I wasn't going to spend any much of any time complaining about the. Listen, if you're watching on Twitter, can you try to comment? See if you can comment. And if you can't comment, tag me. I'll follow you. Send a tweet. Tag me. I'll follow you. Maybe if we follow each other, you can comment if you're watching on Twitter. We got 215 in the building. Chris almost bad as CD. Are you talking about the Isaac Brown? I'm still heated. Shout out DJ. That NIL will do it. Get you every time. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought they were making some lanes on the run game. Minus 38 yards rushing on the sacks. Yeah, it's like when Tyler Shucks stepped up in the pocket, or when he got out there, maybe he just had some more acceleration. You talking about did you mean UVA? Look, Chris, I thought you were talking about UCLA. I thought you tried to say UCLA to get that quarterback. Ooh. Yeah. I that's how I felt. I felt more like we shouldn't have been in that predicament. I tell you what, let's do this. Okay, I'm about 10. Hold on. I'm about 10 behind. Let me catch up really quick. And then I'm gonna bring up the stats. D was on point. He was fake flea flicker. That was a good call. That should have changed the game. Miami's gonna kill us. You think so? Offense cost us game. Lawrence coming around on that one. Lawrence ain't mad at Ron English no more. That was a lot of pass attempts. But he's putting the ball on, like I said. We've been moving the ball. But the bad ones are bad. Ooh. Was it Lachlan? The anonymous donor? Like I said, he put up the yards. He just can't make those mistakes. I feel you. Like I said, I don't brat out play calls too often, because they spend a whole lot of time going into they spend a whole lot of time coming on these strategies. Tough pill to swallow today. Running backs have got to get healthy for us to be successful. Hasn't gotten all year. Frustrated about this year. Yeah, I'm frustrated with the. Like I said, I'm not going to talk health tonight, but I feel you. Like we'll talk about that later on. He's way out of the doghouse. Tell me if y'all can see it. Okay, that's about as good as I can get that for y'all for a second. Okay, overview. They threw the ball 31 times. Chandler Morris had 149 yards and a touchdown. Miller Moss, 34 for 48, 329, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. God, that fumble was bad in the beginning. We held Jamari to 68 yards, 1 touchdown, 16 carries. Isaac Brown had, see, if Jamari Taylor had 16 carries for 68 yards and Isaac Brown had 13 carries for 68 yards, maybe some of those passing yards felt like empty yards. Cameron Ross, 4 receptions, 43 yards, 1 touchdown. Chris Bell, 12 receptions, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Good Lord, where's my fantasy team at? I don't necessarily have to go to the stats like that. Man, I tell you what though. I tell you what, Colin Lacey has some opportunities to really, really break that thing open. Total yards, passing yards, rushing yards. Maybe we could have got away with a couple more rushes. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. But that's a hindsight. That's such a hindsight thing. That's such a hindsight thing. We were in position. We were in position to win the game. You can't spot them. You just can't spot them like that. I agree with y'all. You can't give them. You can't give them two touchdowns without even having a chance. I thought we were in position to win. I thought the coaching put us in a position to win. I mean, you can say you should have been harder on Miller Moss in practice or something. I thought we were in position to win. At the end of the half, you practice all week to hit the field goal. You got to go out there, execute, not fumble the ball. You got to hit the field goal. Jaleel Skinner. You listen. Jaleel Skinner is a 5-star tight end. When you ran that play and got that ball out to Jaleel Skinner, you got to be able to make one guy miss. You got to stick your foot in the ground. See, people, you're going to go back to the Isaac Brown. Jaleel Skinner got to be able to get that first down in overtime. That was a great play call. That was a great play action. It was there. You got Jaleel Skinner wide open in all the space in the world. He got to get that first down. Like I really don't like. Okay, yeah. I was yelling about speed late. You know, we weren't calling the plays fast enough for me. But that again, I can nitpick it. Jaleel got to get that first down. You got to get that first down. Miller Moss, you can't fumble that ball, Isaac Brown. You just can't fumble that ball. You took your eyes off the ball. You fumbled it. You got to come up with that. Again, if I criticize the coaching, it would be if Miller Moss is fault, like he should know you never throw the ball again while you're being tackled. Because he's done it and gotten away with it. And it's one of those in practice, you might just have to make Miller Moss just run 2 miles. If you ever do that again, you running 2 miles and the whole team just gonna watch. We all just gonna go to the track and you gotta run 2 6-minute miles or something. And the whole team just gonna watch you run. Some public shaming or something. I can nitpick at the coaching, but I didn't feel like I had like monumental failure on the staff. He didn't. So you're not a fan of the O-line? Yeah. Turnover. You get two or more turnovers. Two or more turnovers. That's like damn near undefeated. Okay, so the field goal did get blocked. See, I thought he just kind of fumbled it, and that messed up the rhythm. Without Chris Bell touching the ball. Oh yeah. That left hand back shoulder throw gonna get him paid. He will not fair catch. Listen, only other person I ever seen that was like that is Arnold Jackson. Arnold Jackson would not call a fair catch at all. I don't like Colin Lacey on jet sweeps. So Jordan, for that one on the coaching, I'm like, stop putting he's like a vertical guy. He's like a bubble screen vertical. He's a 0 to 60, like, kind of like that. He's not like a jet sweep and then turn. Like, he's not going to outrun people like that. Yeah, I like to see him catch and get vertical and make somebody miss that way. I don't like them seeing on those jet sweeps. UVA didn't impress me either. Gosh darn it. And you hate getting in situations like that where a team that's not impressive steals a win like that. Okay, but you got to think. Those quarterback sneaks, we were getting a lot of push with our O-line. We were getting those first downs really easy. Like I said, I think our right tackle is costing us. Yeah, that again. Punt. Colin Lacey made the right decision. That ball usually goes into the end zone. It's dangerous to be messing around on your 1 or 2 yard line. Marcus Maben is not as critical when your back is against the wall in your own end zone, but I feel you. Didn't have the passion to lead the team. He got a 10-second clock in his head. See, Hillamore, listen, I have that argument with Steve all the time. If you let one guy tackle you in that much open field, that was either an unbelievable tackle or you suck. Like I said, I've seen safeties come up and make a big time tackle. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, you got to be able to make one guy miss. I say it all the time in basketball. In basketball, when you got the ball, it's not the man guarding you. It's the help. You should be able to get around the man guarding you 8 times out of 10. And he was just like he runs on his toes. I've been talking about Skinner the whole time. Like, that's what you like about Kariski. He fucking put his feet in the ground and he get behind his pads and he go get those yards. And you want to tell Skinner, you're not going to get those extra yards till you stick your foot in the ground and go forward. Your legs are too long. You're too easy to trip. You got too much leg. You know what I'm saying? If to clip up. If you don't stick your foot in the ground and go vertical, that's the only way you're going to take away angles from people. But you got to be willing to get physical and and go basically head on. That's going for, and again, disclaimer, I'm a huge Jaleel Skinner fan. But if he's not going to stick his foot in the ground and get them those vertical yards, he's going to be limited. I feel you, but the more the talent spreads out through NIL, I agree. I agree. He does get a little tunnel vision. I agree. Moss does get a little tunnel vision. If he's thinking he's going deep, or he's taking a sack. Yes. Yeah, it didn't roll into the end zone. Like, hey, but listen, Gary, that dude, that punter was banging that ball. I mean, did you see how hard Colin Lacey was running back? Like, he was running full speed back. Like, I mean, we got a good special teams. If you got a 45-yard line rule, and this punter starts blasting or having a good day where he's putting you back 15 yards on the punt, like, we could say maybe we didn't scout the punter as good, or the punter's having a day where he's just blasting it. But he was in full retreat mode a couple times on the punt. Usually, you got to remember, most teams are scared to outkick their coverage against Colin Lacey. So that's why Colin Lacey moves up a little bit. Because if you outkick your coverage on Colin Lacey, chances are he's going to have a shot at taking it to the house. So that makes your punt returner move up a little bit, because the other team usually kicks it a little shorter and higher to give our coverage team time to get down there. Virginia just said, no, we're going to blast it even farther. We're not scared to outkick our coverage. That's tough. And that's what had him retreating. So I'm not mad at Colin Lacey for letting that ball drop. He was just on too much of a retreat. Yeah. Greg, when he throws it, when he's off balance, when he's not standing firm, standing tall, standing strong, I cringe. Any floaters he throws off balance, I cringe. Cause I'm like, that's a when he throws it like a floater off balance, I'm like, to me, that's a 60% chance of getting intercepted. I know 60% is high, but I'm like, it's a duck when he throws off his back leg. When he throws a floater off his back leg, it's a duck. It's a duck, and now we playing duck hunt. Quack, quack, quack. Duck hunt. Who's coming down with that ball? Turnstiles, but the Ravens got a better excuse because they super injured. 300 in the building. If you watch it on Facebook or you watch it on Twitter, take a second. Come hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. YouTube channel is made for the Ville. Please and thank you. Again, if you haven't been able to comment on Twitter, I guess we just have to follow each other. But you got to get the extra perks. I haven't figured that out yet. But tag me if I need to follow you to comment on Twitter. And then you got that going on. Listen, but that's college. That's college football. Most colleges are going for it. Most colleges are not having like the same quarterback 2 years in a row if they're any good. If they're decent, somebody's going to buy your quarterback out. Ah, you mean the pitch that ended in the fumble and the 60-yard return? Emotion was, my gosh. Yeah. No, listen, Joe, in dead sentence, we're done. 17-yard first down. Dead middle of my sentence, we're done. 17-yard first down, let's go. Oh, listen, they're going to be stuff in the run game. Or they're just willing to let him try to beat you all game. You know how Coach English said eventually they'll self-destruct when he was talking about Pittsburgh? I'm sure coaches are going to start saying that about us, Miller Moss, and our offense. I'm sure coaches are going to say that about us and our offense. Sorry about that. I was seeing what's going on. And they're going to say, yeah, sooner or later, Miller Moss is going to self-destruct. I thought that was a terrible call on Chris Bell. I thought that was a terrible, unsportsmanlike call on Chris Bell. I think his reputation or something. Yeah. You got to go down and you got to put on a performance against Miami when he's cooking. I don't know. Early in the season, I think Coach was talking about conditioning of a random player. When you read the tea leaves, I'm starting to think he was talking about Chris Bell when he's talking about you got to be in condition to handle a full game and run your routes crisp and full the entire game. I'm thinking he meant Chris Bell. I agree. Oh, no. Oh, no, Robert. So I know Steve is angry. You realize that Steve would have won? Steve's $20 bet Moneyline Maven would have won him like, what did he say, 780 something? Cashmere in the building, what's good? Yeah, I don't like the. I just don't think that's his skill set. Now I'm not checked out. Look, I'm not checked out at all. I expected more at the stadium. Maybe we're a little spoiled as a fan base. Talent, you mean running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, what? Those were bad. Punter, that Virginia punter had a leg on him. Yeah, when he got the face mask, they did get the face mask. Try to rip Colin Lacey's head off, didn't he? Gosh darn it. Yeah, they got a great role. They got a great role on that one. I think Lacey did the right thing. Listen, 1 million won't get you much of a quarterback in the portal nowadays. That's what it seems like. Isaac Brown. I'm pretty sure it's Isaac Brown. Yeah, and Joe, the Louisville players did a great job of fighting to break up a couple of the drops and the interceptions. I do agree with what you're saying. But again, that's going to be one of those things. That's kind of a if you're a receiver, that's kind of like a contract. If I throw the ball up to you, you better do everything you can to make sure they don't intercept it. If you can't catch it, you better make sure they don't catch it, even if it takes an offensive pass interference. Please wipe the feet. Please hit the like button, good people. That every year you're going to go back and forth, because you would hate to have a crappy quarterback and have a good offensive line. Yeah, like I said, I don't love the play call, but you get the ball, you catch it, they tackle you, you punt the ball. Or they get the ball. But it can't turn into a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep. Now, Virginia fans right now are saying, if we had a decent quarterback, we'd be going for the which one? Yeah, okay, the unsportsmanlike. That was a terrible call. And once he got that first, you're just sitting there waiting for him to get ejected. Yeah, it took me a long time to watch that game all the way through. I'm pausing every play. So Tammy Red even called it. Yeah, that was their short yardage play. Well, we might knock him off that national championship pedestal. Listen, our defense stepped up, man. They put us in a position to win. They really put us in a position to win. Attendance was 50,000. Maybe it was party deck attendance. Maybe people thought what wasn't in the seating was on the party deck. I can buy that. Listen, you got to strap it up every week. Ooh, let's do it right now. That's a good call. That's a great call. Sorry about that. That's a great call. Give me a couple seconds. Okay. I'm assuming this is it. Good call. Yeah, don't go anywhere, good people. I'll play it, and I'll simultaneously end up getting a refill.
When you give them 14 points on offense, it's really disturbing and disappointing. So that falls on me. The execution on on certain things was really disappointing and shouldn't happen. Dropping a ball on a simple toss to get a first down and then forcing balls when things aren't there, can't happen. I mean, every play isn't going to be open and work perfectly, so you got to take a sack, you got to step up and run. There's a lot of things to do. So obviously, I'm not doing enough job of practicing those things for them to show up and to give the other team 14 points. So did we play hard to the end? Yeah. Did we come back and tie the game? Yes. When these things happen, you got to kind of let this wound sting. You got to let it sting for a while. It's got to burn, and it's got to really bother you. If it doesn't bother you, then you shouldn't be playing football or coaching football. Losses are going to happen, but to give people 14 points like that, is very disappointing. So we've got to coach that better, analyze it, coach the small little details of it, practice throwing the ball away, stepping up and running the ball, taking a sack, finding the check down, catching simple balls, a lot of things that, not getting dumb penalties, being more efficient up front. I mean, a lot of things to work on, and we still had a chance to win at the end and didn't come through on a pass in the flat that we got to throw and catch and get in the end zone. But it's a loss that hurts, and we'll try to improve and get better and move on to the next game.
Is Jeff, with this being the second straight game of giving up at least one defensive turnover, what do you feel like is the biggest struggle with ball security, or just what do you feel like is the biggest struggle with the offense right now?
Well, all I can do is analyze the ones that have happened. We had an interception last game that we just forced it right down the middle and stared something down and have a drive route wide open underneath. That happened. Today we dropped a simple toss to just get around the edge and get a yard. We force some balls and probably force some more. And we've got to, know where the underneath throw is, know where the check down is, and then step up and run the football, throw it away. And you know what? We've got to have some running game and some other guys stepping up as well, not to put too much pressure on the quarterback. But, we can do better than that, and we need to do better than that, and we'll work hard to improve on that.
Coach, if you could just talk about, Miller had got a little out of sorts in the Pittsburgh game and then kind of settled down, got you guys back into the game against Pitt today in the third quarter. Seemed like he got a little bit out of sorts as well. When that happens, are you having a lot of conversations with him when he comes back to the sidelines? Like, what does that do to stabilize him and get him refocused?
Well, we got to, we talk for sure. It's kind of the things I mentioned. You got to, stay locked in on a progression. You got to stick with it. And if it's not open or you get pressure, you got to run it or throw it away. When you throw it away, you got to throw it way out of bounds. If not, you just take the sack. So, some things came up and that happened too many times today, so that was disappointing. So we got to practice it. We're going to have to just simulate some things and make sure we're doing some things better. Now, sometimes I don't know, maybe we weren't blocking very well either. But you just can't turn the ball over. You got to punt the ball. Let your defense play. We didn't punt at all in the first half, so you can't just expect that you're never going to punt. I mean, you're going to get sacked every now and then. They're going to guard somebody. They're going to make a play and get a stop, and you live with it and move on. And we've got to definitely improve on that.
Jess, you kind of touched on it, Jeff, but the 5 sacks, are you seeing different things with each of those sacks? What are you seeing in those?
We'll see a lot of things. I do think our offensive line needs to play better. I do. We got to be able to block movement better. We got to be able to pass block better. We got to be more consistent. We got to find a way to run the ball better as well, and block some moving parts. They're not just going to stand there like a statue. They're going to slant, angle, and shake you every now and then. We got to be able to block that. We've got to, understand that, just kind of what I talked about. You can't have that many negative plays. The negative plays are hurting us, and the turnovers are hurting us. They'll get stops every now and then, but you can't give them points like we have the last 2 games.
When Miller needs to burn the ball or take the sack, it's sort of a gray area for a lot of quarterbacks at times. He struggled with that today. How do you get him to see it better, feel it better on when he can burn the ball or successfully burn the ball or kind of eat the sack?
Well, we're going to have to take segments of practice and simulate broken plays and force him to go backwards and chuck it away and take the sack and force him to find checkdowns better. It's a combination of a lot of things. And I'll have to look at the video to dissect it in detail. But,
for sure.
We'll take what we see from video and we'll try to work hard to improve it and not have it happen as much as it has.
Coach had a couple of key third and short plays, one at the end of regulation and then one in overtime. You did opt to go to the pass rather than the run. Is that just more to the confidence that you have in the pass game versus the run game, or is that just the looks that UVA was giving you defensively?
Well, I'm not for sure which ones you're talking about. We had one at the end. It was about 3rd and 3 maybe. It's tough to run down there on 3rd and 3 at that time. So we bootlegged. I thought we had someone open in the flat, at least from my angle. The other ones, I'm not for sure.
As a play caller, how do you stay faithful to the running game when it's struggling? Because I'm assuming that you don't necessarily want to be throwing 45 plus times a game, but on the other hand, if you see it getting stopped, you got to try something new. Like how do you try and balance that act?
Well, we were really efficient in the first half, other than the drop toss on offense, moving the ball, just beat ourselves, and there wasn't many possessions with the controlled passing game, getting the ball out of his hand, and then they changed some things up in the second half, played pass coverage, and did a couple of different things, and yes, the balance has to be better. We got to work hard to do that, and. You get some running backs down. We got to get some guys in the backfield that are able to play and get them healthy, and that was a little bit of an issue with the stuff going on there.
Coach, that pass to Isaac Brown that they ruled incomplete, what did you see on that, like from your vantage point? I mean, if you convert there, move the chains, then probably get 7 points out there on that drive.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't agree with it. So there's not a whole lot I can say on it. I didn't see it up close, but that's the call they made.
Coach, Duke went out early in the game. Is there any update on his status and what may be hampering him?
Well, he's had an ankle. He tried to play with it, couldn't do it. Probably re-injured it again. Kiwan, he came back from a high ankle after 2 weeks. He's supposed to be out 4. So he's tried to play, so I give him credit there. We got to get the running backs healthy so that they can help us win.
So Gregory, first take, you say coach puts it on Miller Moss. Is that your first takeaway on it? What do you think Coach Brom thinks the biggest problem is? He did seem unhappy with the offensive line more than I thought he might be. Yeah, but you're gonna be fighting with everybody who wants to dominate the trenches. Like, look, Louisville's not the only fan base that wants to get linemen and dominate the trenches. So was that a drop the mic kind of thing? Let's do this really quick. Let's do this one really quick.
Miller, if you could kind of talk about the team's struggles in the third quarter. Seemed like after a little bit of up and down play in the first half, get to halftime, tie ball game. What was going on? It seemed like you guys kind of got into a rut offensively to start the third.
Yeah, I agree. Thought we played well in the first half. I thought, some self-inflicted wounds, some penalties maybe hurt us a little bit, but I felt like, kind of everything we were doing was working. They obviously made some adjustments coming out of halftime and had a good plan coming out, and we kind of got in a rut. Didn't feel like we were in very good rhythm. I don't think I can point to one thing specifically without watching it, but obviously didn't come out in the third quarter the way that we expect to, and the way that we needed to win the game.
Miller, could you talk a little bit about what you felt, what you saw on the pick six? I'm not 100% sure what the rule is. It looked like your wrist was on the ground, but
yeah, I was just trying not to take a negative play. I was trying not to take a sack, and that's not a situation where 5 yards hurts you that much. So I just got to eat it.
Come on, Miller, say it stronger.
I'm not gonna speculate.
Everybody's sizing you up.
We got to take care of business on our end. So obviously frustrating. We're just trying not to take a negative play.
I feel you though.
But yeah, I can't turn the ball over. So
just say I fucked up.
It was going well in the second half there, but what kind of led to that? What was going wrong up until that moment for you guys?
Up until the turnover.
Started playing well in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, like I said, I just think we were out of rhythm. We got behind the sticks a couple times. I think the first drive of the second half was going all right, and then we ended up getting a penalty, getting to a 3rd and long, which obviously we can convert, and we did throughout the day, but is not ideal offensively. And just kind of got in a rut. I'm gonna have to watch it. Sorry, I can't point to anything specific right now, but obviously got to play. You can't fall asleep offensively for a quarter and expect to beat a good team.
Miller, how difficult does it make things when the running game can't get going? And obviously you don't have your two healthy backs back there, but just how difficult does that make the entire game plan?
Yeah, obviously you want to always present a balanced attack, but I think we have the players and the talent to beat people in different ways. And you're not gonna be at 100% each and every week.
I think he wants to gunsling it.
It's on us to find different ways to win. And if we
I don't think he cares about the run game at all.
And that's what we got to do.
I think he want to put up 432 yards,
continue to contribute for us in
and
a big
60
way.
passes.
And we gotta find better ways to hold it down in their absence.
If I'm just being honest.
Miller, last game versus Pitt, you guys had, came back from double digits twice.
4 touchdowns,
today,
2
down
interceptions.
24-14 going into the fourth quarter, come back, get it tied, go to overtime. What is the mentality for the offense? How do you guys feel? Because you've shown the ability to come back. Ultimately got the loss today. Does that encourage you that you can come back, or is it about cleaning up the things or the reasons that you got behind?
Yeah, obviously, I think it's good to know you're never out of it, but you don't ever want to go down 2 scores. So it was a big emphasis this week to start fast, and I felt like, we were rolling on that first drive, had a couple penalties, and then ended up having a miscue that led to a defensive touchdown. So, I think the best way to answer it is you never want to fall behind 2 scores, but it is, I guess good to know that you're never out of it.
From your vantage point, what did the Isaac Brown catch? It was a pretty big play there in overtime, which they overturned. Did you think that was a completion, or what did you see?
Yeah.
Don't take the bait.
I don't know. I think, kind of same thing goes. You don't want to ever put it in their hands.
Good call. Good answer.
I know they let the TV listen now, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of opinions on that, but I don't know. I tried to kind of put it where only Isaac could get it. I thought he made a great effort. He's a great player and sold out on the play. So I think from our standpoint, that's kind of all you can ask for to execute the play call to the best of your ability. So of course I would have wanted it to be a catch. I think we definitely would have got 7 at that point, but we didn't. So it is what it is. We got to move on and continue to play the next play, and didn't go our way this time. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, this is not a blame the ref kind of game at all. This is not a blame the call kind of game at all. I'll go back about 10. It's gonna be all offensive line during the bye week. Was there a Bailey post game? I didn't get what's the Virginia coach's name? What's the Virginia coach's name? I can't think of it. I do this all week. And I get to tonight. Okay. That's a good conversation. Listen. Listen, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you at all, but what's that coach's name? His name ain't Tony Scott. We can't take that sack. Is it Tony Scott? Okay, let me get a quick Tony Scott. Let's see how much shade. Let's see how much shade they threw at us. Let me see how much shade he threw at us. Let's see, was he complimentary? Did he throw a little bit of shade? I hope he threw a little shade heading into our bye week because we deserve it. We deserve a little tap.
All right, Jeff, you want to start us off?
I heard a number of players using the phrase "find a way to win."
Yeah.
You use that. What enabled you to do that on the day when offense wasn't as sharp as it was?
Right.
And there were some penalties and uncharacteristic things.
Yeah, I think that managing the success of last week, and we didn't play our best last week, and we found a way to win, and so I think that that's what they were leaning on. They leaned on that confidence coming out of that game to just believe all the way to the end, strain, fight to find a way. So super proud of our guys. And hey, man, a win's a win. In this conference, you take them. I've been a part of some quote unquote ugly wins. There's truly no ugly wins. We came up here with the objective to win, and the young men super proud of them for their effort to just find a way.
Yeah, the direct snap to Taylor, you kind of walk me through the decision there. It's a play that's worked for you guys kind of throughout the year.
Yep.
What was kind of the thought process there?
There wasn't a big thought process because that's kind of what we practice in that situation. And Danny's been prepared to execute that and lead the troops in that situation. So it was probably if Chandler pops up and goes back to the huddle, that's probably going to be the play call. You're right there on 3rd and 1.
What does the quarterback do on that play? Does he block?
I can't give away trade secrets, but each week he has something different to do. So it's just a credit to Coach Kitch and the offensive staff for just finding a way to just give us a chance in those short yardage situations.
The defense changed momentum
Yeah.
a lot in this game, especially when they started getting more pressure, forcing those takeaways. What difference does Daniel Rickard and Mitchell Milton do with their speed coming up?
Huge. I mean, you see we had 5 sacks. Mitchell had 2 of them. Had some other pressures. We probably left a couple out there. But they just, they force some tackles to get out of there early. And then also what it does, too, is it allows for now space for the interior guys, right, to have some more one-on-ones, right, because now you're pulling your slides apart, right, so that's what the guards don't necessarily have help. You can isolate the center. And now Goldie, you see Goldie's been disruptive in there, and Jason Hammond can be disruptive in there, and Hunter got a sack. So not only are they being productive on their own with their numbers, but they're creating more one-on-one opportunities for the guys inside.
What about Chandler selling out on that?
Yeah. I've said he's a warrior. He's a warrior and he's a winner. And injury-wise, he's gonna be okay. He took a tough hit, but he bounced up after a few minutes on the ground. But that's just who he is. He's a warrior, and he's gonna lay it on the line. He knows that's what it takes. That's why everybody in that locker room and in our building has complete confidence in him and follows him wherever he wants to lead us.
Earlier in the week, you talked about wanting to see the guys play with passion and precision, I think it was. So how did you kind of see that?
Saw the passion, not as much precision. But, hey, it's a great opportunity for us to learn. And you know, this team, right, is kind of in, I wouldn't say uncharted waters, but every week's new for them, right? It's something different, and it's an opportunity to teach, and that's what's been the funnest thing about this group is because, man, now you can teach them, right? So before, I couldn't bring up the concept of teams separate from each other in October, right? Before you just kind of scramble to just find a way to win a game. But now we're talking about like big picture things that for them to absorb. And we needed a game where everything wasn't clicking,
wide open,
right? I hate that we made it as close as we did, but we found a way to win, and so that gives us some great momentum going into the open week to really be able to coach and teach and learn all the way around. All of us get better because we want to play our best week in and week out. We know how challenging that is, but the precision wasn't what it needed to be. But the passion was there and the effort was there. And at the end of the day, when you have those things as part of your DNA in your core, you're going to win a lot of football games. And then if we can get the precision down where we need it to be, back to kind of being who we are in all three phases. I thought defensively in the first half, we gave up too many easy throws, and then they kind of settled in and got some stops for us. And then, you know, offensively, we were on the sideline for so long in the first quarter, never really got into a rhythm. And then we fumbled a quarterback running back exchange. We got a good third down call, and Jamari.
Okay. High intensity. Grades. Get ready. A, B, C, or D. Grades. You feel free to elaborate on your grade if you want to. Grades. Here we go. Get ready. Defensive grades. A, B, C, or D. We got the timer on. A, B, C, or D. It's midnight. Shout out to the midnight family. It's midnight as we speak. Hitting you with the grades. Defense. Give me defensive grades. Defensive grades. Feel free to elaborate. Joe says A. Exotic says A. Alicia A. It kept us in it. We got about 90 seconds to 2 minutes on the grades. Defense, B+. For getting burnt on the pass, the first down. Hillamore Bay, tough crowd, B+. Yeah, any defensive mistakes, a defensive mistake is a lot bigger. They're on top of it tonight. Was it personnel or was it play calling? What's good, Anthony? Cheers. Get them in right now. Get the grades in. 60 seconds left. Get the grades in. High intensity. Cheers. Keno giving an A. Chris Curry saying B, that direct snap. Defense was terrible. Are you talking about at the goal line at the end of the game? I mean, I guess you could just sell out. Appreciate it. Defense is A. 30 seconds left. B+ held them under 20 points. I saw Nikki V Winston. Where you see him at? Did you go to this restaurant? Did you go catch him at the restaurant? Get the grades in. 20, 19. Listen, even if you don't want to elaborate, just get the grades. Let's get grades up on the board. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Grades. Jason Baker. Ooh, we sent the house on 3rd and 20, bad play call, otherwise B+. Oh my God, the 3rd and 20, I was pissed. Cole Goodrich is B. Slam Tanner's going C for the defense. Tough crowd. C+, inconsistent. Oh, wait. We haven't gotten to the offense yet. Wait a minute. Maybe I was going to go special teams next. There you go. Give me the offensive grades. Offensive grades, 2 minutes. I was supposed to have a giveaway tonight, but I didn't expect to lose. Next show, we'll have a nice giveaway. The alarm is on. Offensive grades. Offense C+ for inconsistency. Let me see. Boom. We never adjusted to direct snap. Boy, direct snaps. Whoo. That's tough to guard. James Madison was hitting us with running back quarterbacks. So what do you think? Primary, you just sell out? Do you just sell out? Because if you sell out, you're gonna look real stupid when they do a quarterback jump pop pass on the sellout Wildcat. Gotta spread the love. Okay. On 4th down and overtime. Gosh. I mean, I can't disagree with you. C- for the offense from T. Rizzle. I can't disagree, but I don't want to do hindsight 2020. C-, D. Tough crowd. They did put up a lot of yards on offense. If you take away the fumble for 6 and the pick 6, what would you grade the offense if you took away those 2 terrible plays? D-, C-. I initially thought Moss was more sure of himself. I was wrong. Did you think that because of the press conference? Did you lose confidence because of the press conference? Okay, let me catch up really quick. C+, a little bipolar. Like I said, there's mistakes. A hard C-, running backs are hurt. And the running backs are hurt. Are we gonna give some passes for the injury situation? I mean, look, you gotta decide. Sometimes I know you might not like the offensive line, or you might not like the quarterback, or you might not like the situation, but each game is different. Don't just get an opinion and stick to it. Offense gets a triple and quadruple F. Woo. Macro is not happy tonight. Offense did throwing away. We could won still regardless of the fumble and hesitated to run. Tough crowd. We had every opportunity to win the game. From Anthony. No pass for injuries. In football, you really don't get passes for injuries. But I did get irritated because they kept on putting Virginia's. Why did they keep putting Virginia's injuries up on the screen? You act like we ain't got killed by injuries. I kept seeing, for those of you who went to the game, I'm sorry. They kept on showing Virginia's injuries. Some great pass breakups. I agree with that. They dropped 3 interceptions. I agree. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that, but totally ignored. or you just budget. You just budget what you can get away with. Listen, there's a fight for offensive linemen in the offseason. Yeah, that irritated me. That irritated me, them showing their injuries they're dealing with over and over again. Okay, 2 minutes. Coaching grades. Coaching staff overall. You can separate it. The timer's on. We got to get on the radar. Stand on it. Put your comments on it. Stand on it. Coaching. Ooh, coaching. We'll put it right on the board so I won't have to. Coaching. T. Rizzle starts off with a C. That's C for coaching. Coaching from Joe, B minus. Don't, you can elaborate if you want. I feel like some people are elaborating a little bit. Coaching, explain your coaching grades if you want to. B minus. Coaching C. Got to play to win. Over field goals always. God, our defense is playing so good though, Red State. Alicia says B. Sometimes it comes down to the players. I think Alicia's saying it kind of comes down to the players. Defense gets an A minus. On the offense, it gets a C based on the play calling at times. The holding, listen, Jason, the holding calls. Talk to me on Wednesday where I'll be going off on some of the missed holding calls. I don't want to do that on Monday because I don't want to sound like a. Let me watch my mouth. Moss missed so many shorts and intermediate gains to Lacey. I think their team did too. Offensive line coach is in detention, maybe suspended. You trying to give him the chair of shame, Chris Curry? Let too much time run off near the end. Let too much time run off near the end. C plus. Let me see. B minus, let too much time run off the clock. Offensive line coach is in detention. Trying to give him a chair of shame. C, here's basically say everything we knew was going to happen in the press conference. C plus, offense, B minus. I feel like, Ooh. You going chair of shame? Okay, last one. Special teams. Are we gonna get mad for that punt that ended up on the 1 yard line? Colin Lacey, he had some shots, man. Special teams, we did miss the field goal at the end of the first half. Special teams, their punter was putting us in bad position. Special teams, what are we thinking? C plus special teams. Chris Curry, chair of shame. We're like the hot seat. Cole Goodrich. We're going B. Exotic C plus for special teams. Special teams B. Primary C. I think special teams. I think it comes down to if you win or lose. Special teams get the bell curve bump. Came back to bite us. Special teams needed a block or a run back. Oh, shit. I can't argue with that. You got to get healthy. But if you let them miss all practice all week to get them healthy, they ain't going to practice for the rest of the year. Like, I'm not saying anything about them as running backs. I'm saying that's just how it works. If the starting running back don't have to practice during the week when he's kind of nicked up, then the backup running back ain't gonna practice during the week when he's nicked up. And the number 3 running back, if he's Keywan Brown and he's already getting courted, because listen, people, best believe there are 60 teams trying to take Keywan Brown from Louisville right now. So if Keywan Brown is like, wait a minute, so you gonna let Isaac and Duke just sit out all week and you gonna put me in? They're all hot commodities. I'm not pointing to their character or anything like that. I'm just saying we got 3 running backs that are hot commodities. It's hard to get them to practice when they all keep coming up super injured and coming back in the middle of the game, and all of them love the gritty comment. When you fumble, you act hurt. And I'm the same way in basketball. Everybody limps on defense. Every basketball player that got any kind of injury that people know about, you limp on defense. When you see a basketball player that's dealing with whatever injury and he's playing through it on offense, that injury don't hurt him. The injury only hurts him when he got a block or he screws up. Now the injury shows. Now you limp. So football is no different. They're all athletes. They all do the same thing. I'm sorry. And nowadays you're getting paid, so there's more reason to limp. There's more reason to look injured, and the narrative is fighting through it. I'm sorry, but listen, that's a midday show topic. That's a later on this week. If you like the content made for the Ville on the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button, all that good stuff. I'm trying to think. Is there anything that I forgot to discuss? Special teams, injuries. I'm not doing full injuries. I couldn't do giveaways tonight because we got to talk about losses. Damn it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough bye week. All right, salute, good people. Good night, midnight family. Cheers. Like, notifications, subscribe, made for the Ville.
Where we rep it true. Cardinal red, black and white, that's our crew. Ballin' hard on the court, scoring touchdowns too. Louisville's finest, we're coming through. Young center pack, freedom, all memories. Gridiron legends, Cardinal legacy. From Muhammad Ali to Lamar Jackson's fleet, we put on for the city, can't you see? Made for the Ville, yeah, we built different. L's up high, keep 'em raised to the ceiling. Cardinal Nation, feel the ground shaking. Made for the Ville, history in the making. Derby City flow, Southern hospitality. Slugger field the church, or we got duality. BB and who, we the real Kentucky. Cars fly together, that's our reality. From the west end to the east, Cardinal pride don't never cease. Throw your wheels up, let them know. Louisville's here to run the show. Made for the Ville, yeah, we built different. taking over.